The springtime's beautiful in Perth, where I come from. The bush comes to life with flowers and green growth, and there's still a bit of water floating around from the last rains of winter. Absolutely magnificent. So I came up here for a walk. That got me thinking about blisters, of all things. They've been a serious issue sometimes on survival walks, right up to the point of someone actually being admitted to hospital once on account of a bone infection that started with a blister. I think there's some parallels between blisters and tensions in business relationships. You see, when a blister first forms, it's just barely a hot spot. You hardly even notice it. Bit of discomfort and a bit of warmth, that's about all you feel. That's the time to catch it if you can, because then it just takes a simple bit of plaster or something over it to stop the abrasion and everything's okay. If you let it develop to the next stage, it actually forms that little sack of fluid that blisters are known for. It's the body putting a bit of padding between itself and whatever the abrasion is. And at that point, things start to feel comfortable. I think we can get to that point where there's friction in a business relationship as well. We become used to it and we haven't mentioned it, and so we accept it for longer than we perhaps should have. And there's a point where we just kind of feel that's okay. We don't really want to do anything about it. The discomfort's not enough to make us do it. And then the third stage for a blister is when it pops, and then you've just got abrasion straight onto flesh. There's nothing between whatever the point of friction was and the inside of your body. The skin's gone, and that's basically what happened to that guy that ended up in hospital. Wore quite a deep hole, got infected, got into his bones, and he was in a world of trouble. So it's like that too when our relationships deteriorate to such a point that it's now going to take major effort to repair them. It's no longer just a simple strategy of sticking plaster and ease, but things have got to a point where either conflict or disagreement has escalated so far that it's very hard to manage. So dealing with it when you initially notice some frustration or irritation is the time. And I've got 3 tips for how to do that. You always notice, right, when things aren't quite going well, but we tend to shelve it and put it aside until later when things get bigger. So here's my 3 tips. First, have courage. It takes courage to start to deal with something when it's new and fresh, and when the irritation is only small, but that's the place to do it. It takes guts and it takes leadership to step into that space. Second thing, acknowledge your own feelings and emotions. I talk about that a lot. It's really about control. When we know which bits are ours and which bits belong to other people, we can have a much clearer and more mature conversation. And that's really healthy. It's much more likely to get us a good result. Third, take action by talking about it and coming up with a plan that works for everybody. If you do those things, get irritation early, it'll serve your business relationships, make them much more likely to endure into the future. I'm Mike House, enjoy the spring, and I'll see you out there.